Okay, so this is the first video in a series of videos I'm going to be making called What Makes a Soundtrack. It'll mainly consist of me analyzing a soundtrack and explaining why the soundtrack is implemented in the way that it is. The first soundtrack I'll be taking a look at is the soundtrack of Guilty Crown. I'll be playing a short clip of the soundtrack before talking about it so you know which one I'm talking about. Disclaimer, this video will contain spoilers from the anime, but without further ado, let's get right into it. Now starting off with the soundtrack Euterpe. Starting off with the name, Euterpe is the Greek muse of music and poetry, and the word itself means delight. Flowers are closely associated with humans by Inori, which is probably because she sees herself in them. They're colorful, beautiful, and they can bring happiness to the ones that meet with her. But at the same time, they're very frail, easily destroyed. In the start of Euterpe, there are a few well-known lines of it, which goes as follows. Why do people hurt each other, and why can't people forgive each other? Those two being very closely intertwined. Inori sings about how the summer rain has passed and about how silence falls down, which is probably a reference to the popular saying, the calm before the storm. As in the next verse, Inori sings the following. The summer sun is clouded and the wind fluttered, implying that a storm is coming, then proceeding to say the last few sentences which are, I shall sing the proof that life once existed for those who do not have a name. Already at the start implying how the best she can do for those who are lost, aka the ones encased with the virus, and also giving us a small hint to how big of a role Inori's song is gonna play in the overall scheme of things. However, these lines, I shall sing the proof that life once existed for those who do not have a name, are probably also about Inori herself, as she was created artificially for a specific purpose, and named later when she got taken in by the funeral parlor. On to the next soundtrack we have Departure, or Anata ni oku de ai no uta. The English title is Departure or Blessing. However, the directly translated title is roughly The Love Song I Send You. However, depending on context and how it's read, it may also mean either sad song or the song about me. The English title Departure completely contradicts the message of the song and the moment it's used. If you were to give a title that would fit the moment, it would probably be more fitting to call it Reunion. Compared to Euterpe, even though this is a central part of the story, there's not as much symbolism from what I've gathered. This soundtrack is supposed to be taken in a more literal sense, in my opinion. For example, in the chorus, Inori sings the following lines. Don't let me go, just squeeze my hand tight and tell me we'll go on together. While she sings those exact lines, the virus that encased everyone starts fading, and there are numerous shots of children with their families holding hands. So instead of a lot of symbolism, this song is more of a direct reflection of Inori's mind or her will that shatters the virus. The tempo and emotional style of the song fits well with the moments it's used. However, the song doesn't have any deep meaning that I can find other than Inori's emotions. If you look at it literally, it's a song that Inori wrote directly to Shu. Now on to the next and final soundtrack, Release My Soul.
Oh, take a look in the mirror, you look so sad. It's so cold like that winter market we used to go.
This is the song that is played in the last episode of Guilty Crown as the virus is annihilated. This soundtrack is fully written in English, which is definitely a rarity in anime. The words of this soundtrack are very well timed, as the sentence, the heavy rains come down, is sung, the virus rains down upon Inori and Shu. Also another example, with the sentence, I can't look into your face. When that line is sung, at that exact moment they start being encased by the virus and Shu closes his eyes. The sentence, so you can take my sword for you, is probably directly linked to the fact that Inori gives her soul which is symbolized by the red strings of yarn in the anime, over to Shu. Just in case you didn't know, in Guilty Crown the people's souls are represented with string figures from the game Cat's Cradle. The figure that Inori hands over to Shu during the soundtrack Release My Soul is called the Cat's Eye. So she's literally handing her soul over to Shu. As a gemstone, Cat's Eye is supposed to remove any hindrances and ward off evil forces. In this instance, it would be the Apocalypse virus. Then in the last few sentences, which are as follows: "You stole my heart so long ago, oh I release my soul so you feel my song." This is basically the whole point of the song, which directly states that Inori is in love with Shu and therefore decides to hand him her soul. So that's about it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, whatever you're feeling up to. Leave any ideas for soundtrack to analyze and any constructive criticism in the comments below. See you all in the next video.